I want to say that this approach in 2026 has been happening for a while now, right? Like when 2023 rolled around, like I had a lot of stuff going on and I was really in a not very good place. I kind of caught myself struggling with a lot of adverse emotions, right? And really, I think that the mention of ideations might be too strong, but I would be lying if I said that I didn't have a perception or a feeling of, what's the point? And there is something profound about getting that close to not caring about life and getting on the other side of that, getting through that. When you look your last rest in the face and say, so what? Something changes in you, right? And some people, unfortunately, like succumb to those adverse feelings. They get stuck there. They stay there. But when you get up and you say, I'm gonna have to do that regardless. So do everything now. When I decided to do this channel, I don't think I ever, formally introduced myself, right? And my intention when I came here was just to give words of advice, right? Because there was a big part of my external validation metric that included being valuable in conversation and in exchanges with folks, right? I did everything or a lot of things in this transactional base that I always had to have something to bring. And as I've gotten older and I have gotten truly exhausted in over inclusion and over consideration and constant overextension and the willingness to personally neglect myself, right? Like I have to and have had to reconfigure what does this look like where I still get to exist in my space of empathy, but my empathy has room for or includes me. And that has been something. I remember I wanted to start these psychology classes and I wanted to do theology as well because the plan was to figure out what's happening in the brain to get control of the flesh in truth and really develop an understanding and a relationship with God that worked well together. So where I would make the mistake that something was intuition or that God was whispering to me, I'm learning in my psych classes, it's like, no, babe, that's conditioning and that's a fear response. Your amygdala is awake. And this is not to say that God is not still present. It's to say that I believe that there are a number of us that believe our psychological woes are actually our spiritual draws. And this is how come we end up in so many circumstances that don't make sense and that we don't have the capacity to sit still when things get uncomfortable because it's still our flesh that's navigating it. We just didn't realize that it was the psyche that was doing it. When I got into this space, I started out with the intention of helping people, but there was a reality that I wanted to be validated in this space. And I stopped doing it, or I got shook up when I did a video about my brother. It's not, well, long story complicated. It was about one of his joints. And she was doing some weird stuff. And yeah, got on her a little bit, but anonymously, right? But niggas be knowing when you talk about them and shit, right? So, and when that dislike came, and I was like, yo, I don't think I'm ready for this. Because psychologically, my flesh was not prepared to walk through the bumps and bruises that would be required in the vulnerability that I was going to practice in this space. And it's so funny how we would ask for things and we rush to certain points in our life because we want the pain to go away, but we don't realize that Pain don't stop. Pain don't stop. As we age, we don't have the same capacities. We develop stiffness and that sort of thing. We atrophy in certain places that we're not. But if you're not on purpose inflicting just a little bit of discomfort, it's just weakening. You see, because pain is almost synonymous with strength. When we think about working out, building muscle and that sort of thing is literally the tearing of your muscle fibers so that they can regrow and get a little bit bigger. So pain has to be constant, because in the process of becoming stronger, pain will occur. So when I show up here and now, I anticipate the adversity. It's like, yo, come on. I promise you ain't got much more to say to me that I haven't already said to myself. And more important than that is that even the people that show up with the inability to just turn away from you and not listen, or they just have to say something negative because that's what's inside of them. My moms used to say, be careful how you talk to people. It could be an angel in disguise. And sometimes angels get cursed at. I remember spaces and times where I said, God, like, what do you want from me, bro? I remember wondering, why is it so hard? And it didn't look like the happy Sunday praise and the jump up and the Saturday night you just grateful and you just cheerful. It looked like the ugly cries. It looked like the I don't know what I'm doing anymore. It looked like confusion. It looked like disgust, disappointment. It looked like broken trust. So I say that to say, I got comfortable with the idea of being the safe space for the people that were not ready to be happy. I got comfortable with the idea of I might not make these people happy, and I am okay with that because my happiness is a priority. I got comfortable with, nah, I can't make that right now. Nah, I'm not answering the phone right now. Not because I don't love you, not because I don't care about you, but because I don't have the capacity for you and your shit right now. But I love you and I'm sure you could figure it out. So I guess for 2026, standing in it fully and totally, right? I'm gonna be back in class. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm not excited about the exhaustion that comes with constantly reading peer-reviewed articles, having to do a mass hiring for my organization, having to update a handbook, having to go back and forth about some event, some write-up, something or another, and then still have enough cognitive capacity to produce content. Possibly write a script, because cognitively I ain't got nothing left. Working on getting myself back to my version of healthy that I was really happy with and proud of, but the external validation wasn't quite what it needed to be because I had not built up enough strength spiritually and psychologically to embrace what I had done physically. In the spirit of still having work to do, but damn it, bitch, you did a lot and you should be proud of yourself. That a critique, a criticism, a flaw is not a reason to hide and disappear, but it's something to walk right up to, look in the face and say, I'll be damned if this be the reason that I don't do the things that I want to do when life is short. So, in the spirit of that, have a happy new year and go hard. Go hard. It ain't gotta just be working out. It ain't gotta just be finances. But if it is, you'll go hard. Because you know why? Another birthday is gonna come. Another milestone that you wish you had made is gonna come. You are not too old, you are not too young. Give it a shot, try it out. Be prepared for critique and criticism. Because if it hurts along the way, it's highly probable that you just built some new muscle fiber to accommodate what happened. You'll be all right. Happy New Year.